Hello, welcome to our Primary 4 Meet the Teacher. We are going to start by introducing the Primary 4 team. My name is Mrs. Tennant. I teach Monday to Friday in Primary 4T. I started in Crammon Primary in August of this year. I taught at Lorne Primary in Leith before coming to Crammond. I am really enjoying working with the boys and girls in Primary 4 and working with a fabulous team.
Hello, I'm Miss Barr and I'm teaching in Primary 4B Monday through to Friday, except on a Tuesday, which is my principal teacher day out. This is my second year teaching Primary 4 at Crammond and I absolutely love this stage. It's been great settling the children in over the past few weeks and getting to know all the children across the year group. I'm really looking forward to this year in Primary 4.
Hello everyone, my name's Mrs. Stewart and I'm going to be working with the Primary 4s this year. I'll be working with P4M on Monday and also P4B on Tuesday. And I know the children really well as I've worked with them for quite a while. I'm really looking forward to working with them again.
Hello, I am Mrs. Murdoch. I teach Primary 4M on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays and Fridays. This is my second year working at Crammon Primary School. I taught Primary 6 last year and I'm thoroughly enjoying teaching Primary 4 this year. I'm looking forward to an exciting year ahead.
So as well as the teacher, you might hear your child mention other adults' names that help them out in the classroom. This year we're lucky enough to have Miss Bray, Miss Tights, Mrs. Lavelle, Mrs. Shield and Mrs. Scott all helping us. Another adult that you might hear your child talking about this year is Mr. Short. This year he's going to be taking the children for PE and outdoor learning. His outdoor learning focus will be on literacy and maths. Please make sure your children are suitably dressed as they will be out in all types of weather. On a Thursdays, Primary 4B and 4M will be getting outdoor learning and PE, and on a Fridays, 4T.
In Primary 4, the school day starts at 8:40. When the children arrive, they self-register. We start each day with launching learning. During launching learning, the children choose an activity to enjoy with their friends. We have a variety of activities and they all focus on different skills. This is a great time for the children to share things with their friends and teachers. Launching learning is a calm and fun way to start each day. The school day is divided into learning time and into breaks. We teach literacy and numeracy lessons during the morning sessions and health and wellbeing, topic and art lessons during our afternoon sessions. The children have a morning break between 10 and 10:15 and a lunch break between 12 and 12:30. At the moment, the children eat their lunch in the classroom.
We have some interesting topics to focus on with Primary 4 this session. At the moment we're looking at the Romans, looking at local area history. We're then going to be moving on to electricity, looking at forces. Then we're going to be moving on to the Titanic, looking at famous people and events in history. Then we're going to do a Dragon's Den focus, looking at local businesses. We're then going to look at weather and climate, collecting weather data, and then a Scottish architecture focus, looking at famous landmarks in Scotland. We're then going to do a book study, and we're going to choose a famous author that's popular with the children, and we're going to look at different writing styles. We're then going to do a fair trade focus, and we're going to look at the sustainability of our planet, and then we're going to look at Judaism, looking at religious and moral education.
Each week in literacy, we do a writing lesson. This has a different learning outcome. This week we were looking at sentence openers and how many they can include in writing. Next we're looking at connectives. If they find what we're learning quite tricky, it will tend to stay with the same outcome for 2 to 3 weeks. But if they grasp it pretty quickly, we keep on moving on through. The outcomes are taken from the Primary 4 benchmarks, which is the first level benchmarks. And we just keep working through them. We continue to work through different types of writing. So we do report writing, letter writing, information writing, personal writing, poetry. We cover absolutely everything throughout the year, through our different topics and through different seasons. Things have very, very natural links throughout. Currently, because we're doing Romans, we're doing a lot of imaginative writing and also writing as in the first person, this week we're pretending that we are soldiers in the Roman army, and so we just keep creating natural links into our writing. As well as this, we do VCOP lessons, which are focusing on vocabulary, connectives, openers and punctuation. We're also doing 3-read strategy, which is part of our reading with the teacher, so it's encouraging the use of things like tone and expression to engage a partner as well as engage the teacher into listening, and it's really focusing on the questioning and the discussion at the end of each page. We're still doing a weekly spelling sound, which again will be given in the homework and can be seen on our Teams page. We're doing weekly handwriting. We are still focusing on writing in cursive, so if the children are writing anything at home, we would encourage that it's written in cursive. We're doing in class reading for enjoyment using Epic, and also part of the homework, mainly due to the fact that we can't send books home just now, and also the children are getting a bit older, they don't need books as such. The homework will be focusing on reading for enjoyment, which they're used to doing in class anyway. And we'll also be doing reading comprehension and the skills that all come along with this. And we're hoping that after October, when libraries open, we will see the library bus again once every 3 weeks.
This year, we will follow the whole school Big Maths programme for numeracy and outer maths. The children will continue to complete their Big Maths, Click, Safe and Learn It challenges in class. We will also be using SumDog, and we will be setting challenges on SumDog as part of our Primary 4 home learning. When possible, we will be using concrete materials such as counters, blocks and deans during our maths lessons. We will also be using visual aids to help the children develop a deeper understanding of new maths concepts. We will continue to develop the children's knowledge of the times tables in a variety of fun ways, as knowing the times tables helps the children learn new maths concepts easier and quicker. During our numeracy lessons, we use station rotations. We have 3 different stations set up, and each pupil visits every station at some point during the lesson. One group works with the teacher at the teacher station. This is when new concepts are introduced. We often use concrete materials, pictures, and the small class whiteboards. Another group works on an independent task, normally consolidating what they have learned the day before. Lastly, we have an active station where the children can enjoy maths games and challenges with their friends.
Throughout the year, the children will be learning about different topics in maths as well. These are things such as time, data handling, measuring, money, shape, angles, and area and perimeter. The children revisit these every year to expand on their learning.
In terms of health and wellbeing this year, we're going to cover a range of topics. These topics that you see in front of you on the slide, they are all from the document that was released by the Scottish Government last year, which is called Relationships, Sexual Health and Parenthood. I just like to highlight these within this presentation as they are a little bit different. They weren't always done in P4, and some of the things, the resources you might want to access at home, or you might want to check that they support maybe your belief or your religion before they're taught within school. So if you go to the website, it's just www.rshp.scot, and if you go into levels at the top, it'll say first level. Once you click on that, you'll see on the right hand side there's a list of columns, and it goes beginning to begin, and then it goes progression 1 and progression 2. If you look at progression 2 as the primary 4 work, that's where we'll be working from, that's where we're getting our content from, and we might dip into parts of the primary 3 part. Just due to lockdown, we know that the children didn't receive the full education on this. So all the resources and all the PowerPoints and everything we will share with the children to do with relationships, sexual health and parenthood is all on this website. So if you do have any worries about it at all, please do go on and have a little look through the website, and then contact me directly, as I'm the health and wellbeing lead for the school, and we can discuss that further. We will also be doing health and wellbeing through physical activity for our 2 hours a week, And also, when it's safe to do so, we will also be doing food tech again. And throughout the year, we obviously have a big push on mental health and wellbeing. That's through our resilience programme, which is whole school, as well as zones of regulation and emotions taught supporting within classes.
We are just about to start our home learning. Every Friday, home learning will go up on learning journals for the following week. This will incorporate spelling, reading and maths, and this will be weekly. Every second week, we will have topic-related challenges. The first week of home learning will be uploaded on Friday the 18th of September. You will also be able to view our weekly plans on Teams, and this will be uploaded on Teams every Friday.
So the first question was about swimming. We have no idea yet what's happening with swimming. Obviously, we know swimming pools have now opened. However, the council's excursion policy says no swimming still until January. I'm waiting to hear from the council as to whether or not we will have a swimming spot in January. If we do receive any information on this will be passed over as soon as we can. If they miss swimming this year in primary 4, we'll look to do it next year in primary 5, so the children won't miss out on their swimming lessons completely. That also ties in with the question that we got about when will trips resume. Currently there's to be no trips before January. After January they're proposing, but again this is continuing on with the rate dropping as it is that in January they would be able to go on local indoor and outdoor trips, and then it's looking at term 4 being able to travel to further away destinations and also to be able to stay the night. And we had a lot of questions about bubbles and how this is working. So each class is within their bubble. They stay within their bubble and they play together inside, in the area, outside the classroom, and also outside in the playground. The bubbles currently are not mixing. We have no information as to when they are going to be able to mix. We are just continuing to follow the government guidance, and when it is safe to do so, the bubbles will mix again in the areas outside the classroom. We'll be able to do things as a year group, and also we'll be able to play together outside again. The next question was about parents coming in to help. Unfortunately, we have been told just currently to reduce the number of adults in the building as far as possible. Therefore, unfortunately, adults cannot come in and help currently. Again, when we start to look at things like trips happening, we might, hopefully we'll be able to have adults helping then. And also, hopefully in time team 4, we can have adults coming into the school. But again, we're just following the guidance as strictly as possible. There's currently no guidance or even indication as to when this could be possible. The next question is support for learning. Support for learning assessments have been taking place with Katrina Nicol, who's currently on, she's currently working from home. So she's been doing assessments on Teams, so some of your children might be talking about that. So now that all the assessments are completed by Support for Learning, the groups will be up and running in the next week or so. If your child is going to be receiving Support for Learning, you will receive information from Miss Nicol about how these groups will run and what the groups are aiming to support. There's quite a few messages as well directed about waiting on assessments. Again, there's been quite a big delay just with COVID. When we are able to carry out these assessments safely, and we will be doing that, and we'll also be in touch about that. The next question we received was about the doors. The primary 4 doors are always manned by an adult primary 4 staff, whether it's a class teacher or a PSA, until they are shut just after 10 to 9. Our doors are not then open throughout the day, unless the children are outside to play, to allow for the air to come in then. We have vents in all the roofs, so we're getting our airflow that way. Please do not be concerned that the doors are being left open and unmanned. This is not currently the case. The next question we received was about the doors. The primary 4 doors are always manned by an adult primary 4 staff, whether it's a class teacher or a PSA, until they are shut just after 10 to 9. Our doors are not then open throughout the day, unless the children are outside to play, to allow for the air to come in then. We have vents in all the roofs, so we're getting our airflow that way. Please do not be concerned that the doors are being left open and unmanned. This is not currently the case. We've had many questions again about school times and bags. We are currently following the Scottish guidelines about staggered times and what the children should be bringing into school. As and when these change, we will communicate that to parents, and children can be bringing in normal school bags, or they might be going back to normal times. But again, we are currently following the guidance, and as and when that changes, we will be in touch. The last questions we've received are we checking the children's temperatures? We're not checking every child's temperature every day. If a child is unwell, we will ask their permission to check their temperature. And we can do that without touching the child. We've got a temperature gauge that just goes up to their head, the thermometer, and it tells us the temperature of the child. We can then make a decision. If the temperature is raised, we immediately contact the parent and the child is sent home. If the child has another illness that needs to be sent home, it would just be the same procedure as normal. And if the child is under the temperature and feeling well, they will just return to class. The last questions we've received are about attainment and learning. This will be discussed obviously further at Parents' Evening in the next couple of weeks. We have completed some assessments, and if we do have any concerns, we will be in touch. And as I've said, if your child is going to be receiving support for learning, we will be in touch about that as well. If you have any questions in the meantime before Parents' Evening, please contact the staff member and the class teacher through learning journals. If you just comment, we are checking learning journals once or twice a week, so the comment will be picked up. Or again, you can email admin@crammon.eden.sch.uk and that will be forwarded on to the class teacher, any of those emails. Thank you very much for watching and listening Primary 4 Meet the Teacher. I hope you all have a lovely weekend, and we can't wait to see the children again on Monday. Thank you.